Doubt doesn't knock politely. It barges in. It's the quiet whisper in your head saying, "Who do you think you are?" It's the pit in your stomach when you're about to take a step forward. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Doubt shows up most when you're standing right next to the edge of something great. That's why it feels so heavy. That's why it feels so loud. Because somewhere deep down, a part of you knows you're capable of more. And doubt is your brain's way of slamming on the brakes. But let me ask you something. How many times have you let that voice decide your future? How many chances have you watched pass you by because you told yourself, not yet, maybe later? And if you're really honest with yourself, how many of those later moments ever came? We spend years waiting for the day we wake up magically fearless, and that day never comes. You don't wake up without doubt. You move forward while it's still screaming at you. I've learned this. Doubt isn't proof that you can't. Doubt is proof that you're trying. If you felt nothing, if you weren't stretching yourself, there'd be no reason for it to show up. It's your brain's outdated alarm system. It sees change as danger, even when that change is exactly what you need. So here's the truth most people avoid. You will never crush your doubts by thinking your way out of them. You crush them by acting while they're still hanging over you. Every time you do the thing you're scared of, you teach your brain a new story, one where you're capable, one where you're in control. And right now, maybe you're watching this because deep down you're tired of letting that voice win. You're tired of watching other people live the life you know you could have. That's good. That means you're ready. The only thing standing between you and the version of you that's unstoppable is one decision to move anyway. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Right now. If you wait for the fear to disappear, you'll wait forever. But if you move today, you'll prove to yourself that doubt was never the enemy, inaction was. Your doubts feed off one thing: silence. The more you avoid doing the thing, the louder they get. And I'm not talking about the kind of silence where you're meditating or resting. I'm talking about the silence that comes from avoiding, from staying stuck, from sitting there thinking about all the ways you could fail instead of just trying. You know what I mean? You've replayed that idea or dream in your head 100 times, but you've never actually given it a real shot. And every day you delay, your doubts grow like weeds. Here's the tricky part. Your brain thinks it's protecting you. It's designed to keep you safe, to keep you in familiar territory. That's why it sends up fear, hesitation, and all those what-if thoughts. What if you fail? What if people laugh? What if you're not good enough? But have you noticed something? Those thoughts never show up when you're doing something easy, something you've already mastered. They only show up when you're pushing into something bigger. That's not a sign to stop. That's your signal that you're on the right path. Most people make the mistake of thinking confidence comes first. Like, when I feel ready, then I'll start. No. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. You earn it by showing up. You build it by doing the thing, not by sitting on the sidelines thinking about it. And yes, the first time you try, it's going to feel awkward. You're going to mess up. But here's the secret. No one is paying as much attention as you think. People are too busy worrying about themselves to be tracking your every move. You can't crush your doubts by waiting for some magic burst of motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It's a feeling, and feelings change. Action is a choice. You either do it or you don't. And if you're serious about killing your doubts, you've got to act while they're still in the room. You've got to move before your brain talks you out of it. Because the longer you wait, the stronger that voice gets. Think about it. Every single person you admire has felt doubt. Every single one. The difference is, they didn't let it stop them. They learned to carry it with them and keep going anyway. And the moment you decide to do the same, you flip the script on your entire life. You stop giving your doubts the steering wheel. You take it back. So here's the question you've got to ask yourself right now. Am I going to let this voice decide my future? Or am I finally going to be the kind of person who acts even when it's uncomfortable? Because the truth is, if you want to crush your doubts, you have to prove them wrong. Not with more thinking, not with more planning, with action. That's it. And don't you dare tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You've been saying that for years. Tomorrow is a habit. Start today, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, because the only way out of self-doubt is through it. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. You already know. Deep down, you've known for a long time. The problem is you keep waiting for the perfect conditions. You keep telling yourself, I'll start when I have more time, when I feel more confident, when I know exactly how to do it. And let me tell you something. Those conditions you're waiting for, they're never coming. Life is never going to slow down, hand you a neat little package and say, okay, here's your perfect moment to start. That's a fantasy. And as long as you keep waiting for it, you're giving your dreams an expiration date. Here's the truth you don't want to hear. You're not lacking resources. You're lacking resourcefulness. You're not lacking time. You're wasting it on things that don't matter. You're not lacking motivation. You're just letting your feelings dictate your actions. And I say this because I've been there. I've sat in that chair, scrolling on my phone, convincing myself I was researching or waiting for inspiration, when in reality, I was just avoiding the work. Your life changes the second you decide to stop negotiating with yourself. Because every time you tell yourself, I'll do it later, what you're actually saying is, I'm okay with staying exactly where I am. And that's the part that stings, because you know you're capable of more. You feel it in your gut. You think about it before you fall asleep. You daydream about it when you're supposed to be focused on something else. That's not an accident. That's your potential calling you out. And the longer you ignore it, the more it will eat at you. You've got to stop making your dreams optional. They have to become non-negotiable. Think about how you treat things like brushing your teeth or paying your bills. You do them whether you feel like it or not. You don't wait until you're motivated to brush your teeth. You don't say, hey, I'll pay the bill next week when I feel more inspired. You just do it because it's necessary. That's the exact way you have to treat the actions that move your life forward. And let's be real, it's never going to feel comfortable. In fact, the more uncomfortable it feels, the more likely it is that you're doing the right thing. Growth is uncomfortable because you're breaking old patterns. You're stepping into territory where you can't predict every outcome. And that's scary. But here's the thing. You've already survived 100% of the challenges life has thrown at you so far. What makes you think you can't handle this one? You don't need more time. You need to decide. And decision is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger you get. When you decide, I'm doing this, and you mean it, something shifts inside you. Your energy changes. Your focus sharpens. You stop obsessing over all the reasons it won't work, and you start looking for ways to make it work. And when that happens, opportunities you couldn't see before suddenly start appearing. Stop thinking in terms of someday. There is no someday. There's only today. And every day you delay, you make it harder to start because you're teaching yourself the habit of waiting. Habits are powerful, and the habit of waiting will kill more dreams than failure ever will. So here's your choice right now. Keep overthinking. Keep talking yourself out of it. Keep waiting for a perfect moment that's never coming. Or take the imperfect, messy, uncomfortable action that will change everything. And I promise you, the second you take that step, you'll feel something shift. Not because it's easy, but because you'll finally know you're moving toward the life you've been talking about for years. You've been standing at the starting line long enough. Stop staring at the track. Start running. Doubt is a sneaky thief. It doesn't just walk into your life and announce itself. It creeps in quietly, whispering in the back of your mind, making you question if you're really capable. And here's the problem. When you believe those whispers, you start holding yourself back. You stop raising your hand for opportunities. You delay starting the thing you've been dreaming about. You convince yourself it's not the right time when really, you're just scared. But fear in disguise is still fear, and doubt is its favorite outfit. If you let it, it will rob you of the chance to even try. You have to understand something. Nobody is immune to doubt. Every single person you admire, every person who's doing something you wish you could do, they felt it too. The difference is, they didn't let it have the final say. They didn't wait until they felt ready, because that moment never actually comes. The truth is, you're never going to feel completely ready to take a big leap, but you don't need to be ready. You just need to start. The next time doubt tells you you're not good enough, you have to catch it in the act. Literally say to yourself, that's not a fact. That's a feeling. Doubt is not evidence. Doubt is not truth. It's just your brain trying to keep you safe by keeping you the same. And if you always give in to it, your life will never grow beyond the comfort zone it's trapped in right now. You have to act while you feel the doubt. That's the secret. You don't wait for the doubt to disappear. You move with it tagging along. Because here's what happens. When you start taking small actions, you start building evidence that you can do hard things. And the more evidence you have, the quieter doubt gets. You have one life. One. And you're not going to get to the end of it and say, wow, I'm so glad I played it safe. No, you'll regret the chances you didn't take. You'll regret letting doubt make your decisions for you. So the next time it shows up, take it as a sign you're on the edge of something worth doing. Smile at it, thank it for trying to protect you, and then do it anyway, because that's how you crush doubt, not by waiting for it to vanish, but by proving it wrong over and over again. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's not a magical gift a few lucky people get while the rest of us are left wondering why we can't seem to find it. Confidence is built, and it's built the same way you build muscle, through repetition, through action, and through proving to yourself over and over again that you can rely on you. Most of us are walking around thinking confidence is the result of success. We think when I lose the weight, then I'll feel confident.
When I get the promotion, then I'll be confident. When I finally start my business, then I'll feel like I belong. But that's backward. You don't wait for success to feel confident. You create confidence by taking action before you feel ready. It's the action itself that creates the belief. And this is where doubt and fear try to shut you down. They will tell you that you need more time, more preparation, more proof. But what they're really saying is, please don't change, because change is uncomfortable. If you keep waiting until you feel ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. The truth is, confidence isn't built in your head, it's built in your body, in your actions, in those tiny moments when you choose to show up, even though you feel nervous, uncertain, or unqualified. Think about it. The first time you ever drove a car, you probably didn't feel confident. Your hands were tight on the steering wheel. Your heart was racing. You kept double-checking the mirrors like your life depended on it. But you kept driving, and the more you drove, the more natural it felt. Now, you probably get in your car without even thinking twice. That's confidence. It's not magic. It's repetition and proof. You can do the same with anything. You want to speak up in meetings. Start small. Say one sentence, one idea, even if your voice shakes. You want to start creating content online. Post one thing today, even if it's imperfect. Every single time you take action in the direction of what you want, you're telling your brain, I can do this. And the more you do it, the more your brain starts to believe you. Here's the secret no one tells you. Confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence is the result. And the most confident people you see, they're not fearless. They've just built a habit of acting despite the fear. So the next time you're standing on the edge of something you want to do but feel unsure, remember this. You don't need to feel confident to take the first step. You just need to take the step. The feeling will catch up to you. And one day you'll look back at the things you were once terrified of and realize they're now second nature. That's the moment you'll know you've built something unshakable, and you did it one small brave action at a time. Here's what nobody tells you. The hardest part about chasing a dream isn't the work itself. It's not the long nights, the early mornings, or even the failures. The hardest part is continuing when the results aren't showing up yet. It's waking up every day, doing the work, and having nothing to show for it, at least not in the way the world measures success. That's the moment where most people quit, and that's the exact moment you have to keep going. We live in a culture obsessed with instant results. Post a picture, get likes in seconds, order something online, it's at your door tomorrow. We're conditioned to expect speed. But the truth about anything worth building, whether it's a business, a healthier body, a skill, or a dream, is that it takes time. And during that time, you will feel invisible. You will feel like you're talking into a void. You will wonder if any of it is working. And your brain, trying to protect you, will start whispering, maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe you should stop. That's when you have to remember, the seed doesn't sprout the day you plant it. You water it, you give it sunlight, and for weeks or months nothing seems to happen. But under the soil, growth is happening you can't see yet. Your work, your effort, your consistency, it's the same way. The results will come, but only if you keep showing up long enough for the roots to take hold. And here's the part most people miss. When it feels like nothing is happening, something is always happening. You are changing. Your skills are sharpening. Your resilience is growing. Your habits are being built brick by brick. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are not where you started. And that gap between where you were and where you are now, that's proof you're moving forward. This is why you cannot measure your progress only by the scoreboard. If you only look at the big wins to keep you motivated, you'll burn out fast. You have to learn to celebrate the small wins, the ones nobody else sees. The day you showed up even though you didn't feel like it. The moment you handled a setback with grace instead of quitting. The extra hour you put in when no one was watching. These are the moments that build greatness. I know it's hard to believe in something you can't see yet. I know it's frustrating when you feel like you're pouring your heart into something and getting crickets in return. But think about the alternative. Quitting guarantees you'll never see what could have been. Pushing forward, even when it feels slow, keeps the door open for the breakthrough you've been waiting for. And when that breakthrough comes, because it will happen faster than you think. One day, all those unseen hours, all those quiet sacrifices will stack up, and the world will suddenly call you an overnight success. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was built in the quiet days, and in the lonely work, and in the moments when you almost gave up but didn't. So if you're in that in-between space right now, where the dream feels far away and the road feels endless, hear me, you are not stuck. You are building, you are growing, you are doing the invisible work that one day will be the reason you succeed. Keep going. Do not stop. The day you feel like nothing is happening might just be the day you're closest to everything changing. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to knock on your door and hand you the life you've been dreaming about. That's not how this works. You have to be the one to get up, to push yourself, to do the uncomfortable things over and over until they become second nature. And yes, that's hard. It's supposed to be hard, because the easy stuff, everybody's doing that. There will be days when your mind will come up with every excuse in the book. You'll tell yourself you're tired. You'll start tomorrow. You're not ready yet. But here's the truth. You'll never feel ready. You'll never magically wake up with the perfect conditions. Waiting for ready is just another way of avoiding the work. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who had the most motivation. They're the ones who took action when they didn't feel like it. They didn't wait for confidence. They built it through doing. They didn't wait for the fear to disappear. They moved forward while still afraid. That's what you have to do. Every time you take that small step, even when it feels insignificant, you are proving to yourself that you can trust you. And that self-trust, that's the foundation for everything else. Once you know you can rely on yourself to follow through, there's nothing you can't tackle. So stop looking for the big leap. Start with the tiny, unglamorous, unshared actions. Stack them every single day. One day you'll look up and realize you've built a life that's unrecognizable from where you started. And you'll know it wasn't luck. It was you. You did it. You saved yourself.